Welcome to You Certify CompTIA A Must-Know Glossary Terms, Part 4. Term: RAID Level 0, RAID 0. A type of RAID in which two drives are treated as a single drive, with both drives used to simultaneously store different portions of the same file. Term: RAID Level 1, RAID 1. A type of RAID in which two drives are treated as mirrors of each other. Changes to the contents of one drive are immediately reflected on the other drive. Term: RAID Level 1 plus 0, RAID 10. Definition: a type of RAID in which four drives combine striping plus mirroring for extra speed plus better reliability. RAID 10 is suitable for use with program and data drives. RAID 10 is a striped set of mirrors. Term: RAID Level 5, RAID 5. Definition: a type of RAID in which three or more drives are treated as a logical array, and parity information, used to recover data in case a drive fails, is spread across all drives in the array. RAID 5 is suitable for use with program and data drives. Term: RAM. Definition: random access memory, the main memory in a computer, where the operating system, OS, application programs, and data reside, so that they can be quickly reached by the device's processor. Term: ransomware. Definition: a virus that takes over a computer or network until a ransom is paid. Term: rapid elasticity. Definition: a characteristic of cloud computing that refers to how quickly and easily more or fewer cloud resources can be used or set aside, as needed. Term: RDP. Definition: remote desktop protocol, a protocol used by Remote Desktop Services, RDS, which is the Windows Server-based companion of Remote Desktop Connection. RDP uses port 3389. Read-write failure. A hard drive error caused by a failure to read data on the drive or write new data to the drive. Term: recovery mode. Definition: the mode of a computer or other device that provides access to core functions of the computer for repair or reset purposes after a system failure. Term: recovery partition. Definition: a space on the hard drive that holds the Windows recovery environment, WinRE, during a clean install. Term: redundant array of independent or inexpensive disks. Definition: a method for creating a faster or safer single logical hard disk drive from two or more physical drives. Term: registry editor, regedit.exe. Definition: the Windows registry editor. Term: remote authentication dial-in user service, Radius. Definition: software and a protocol that allows remote authentication via a central server. Term: remote desktop protocol, RDP. Definition: a protocol used by Remote Desktop Services, RDS, which is the Windows Server-based companion of Remote Desktop Connection. RDP uses port 3389 and enables a user to securely connect to a remote computer in order to perform services or support another user. Term: remote disk. Definition: a feature that enables a macOS computer that lacks an optical disk drive to use another computer's optical disk drive. Term: remote monitoring and management, RMM. Definition: tools that allow technicians to monitor and manage remote networks. This usually involves installing special tools, called agents, that collect data and report it back to the management team for data analysis. Term: remote network installation. Definition: installing software via a network connection instead of a physical disk. Term: remote wipes. Definition: a program that can be initiated from a desktop computer to delete all the contents of a remote mobile device that has been lost or stolen. Term: repair installation. Definition: a Windows installation option in which the OS is installed over the same version to fix problems with the previous installation. It is also known as an in-place upgrade. Term: resin. Definition: the liquid medium in 3D printers that is heated and fused to form thin layers of plastic to print an object. Term: resource monitor, resmon.exe. Definition: utility that tracks CPU usage and performance. Term: RFID. Definition: radio frequency identification, a technology that consists of an RFID tag that can broadcast information about an item, plus an RFID reader to accept the broadcast information and deliver it to a computer system for use. Term: risk analysis. Definition: a method of identifying risks to a network performed using either qualitative or quantitative analysis methods, with the end goal being a plan to mitigate the impact of risks. Term: RJ11. Definition: a standard phone jack. Term: RJ45. Definition: registered jack function 45, the most common Ethernet cable which connects network interface cards on PCs to network switches and SOHO routers. Term: RM. Definition: a Linux command used to remove, delete, files from a system. Term: RMDIR. Definition: command line command that removes a directory and the subdirectories within it. Term: robocopy. Definition: a Windows command that is used as a highly configurable file, folder, copy, and move app. It can be configured with various optional GUIs. Term: rollback plan. Definition: a document that lets the change administrators restore the network to the service level that was present before the change. Term: root access. Definition: accessing root files of an OS to change settings or allow portability between cell providers. Term: rootkit. Definition: a set of hacking tools that finds its way deep into a computer's operating system or applications and sets up shop to take over the computer. Term: router. Definition: a device that routes data from one network to another. It is often integrated with wireless access points and switches. Term: SaaS. Definition: software as a service, software programs that can be run from the cloud without downloading an app. Examples include Google Docs, Microsoft Word Online, and Excel Online. Term: safe mode. Definition: a mode that loads minimal Windows features, such as low-resolution graphics and minimal networking. It is helpful in troubleshooting Windows features. Term: Samba. Definition: a utility that allows Linux to operate in a Windows environment. Term: sandboxing. Definition: creating an isolated machine or network of machines where experiments can be run or software can be securely tested without risk to machines on the production network. Term: SATA. Serial Advanced Technology Attachment. Definition: a version of ATA that uses thin data and power cables to transmit data serially at rates of 1.5 gigabits per second, 3.0 gigabits per second, 6.0 gigabits per second, and 16 gigabits per second, SATA Express. Term: satellite. Definition: an internet provider option that uses dish antennas similar to satellite TV antennas to receive and transmit signals between geosynchronous satellites and computers. Term: screened subnet. Definition: formerly known by CompTIA as a demilitarized zone, DMZ, a screened subnet allows outside traffic through a particular IP address on a LAN. Term: secure boot. Definition: a setting that blocks the installation of untrusted software during the boot process. Term: secure shell, SSH. Definition: a protocol that allows data to be exchanged between computers on a secured channel. SSH is a more secure replacement for FTP and Telnet. Term: self-monitoring, analysis, and reporting technology, SMART. Definition: a technology that monitors internal hard disks and warns of impending failure. Term: sender policy framework, SPF. Definition: a tool that lets domain owners list the IP addresses that are authorized to send mail to control spam. Term: serial. Definition: a serial communication physical interface, also known as a COM port, through which information transfers in or out 1 bit at a time. The RS-232 standard is commonly used to transmit data through DB9 ports. Term: SFC. Definition: a Windows command that scans system files and replaces damaged or missing files. Term, share permissions. Definition, a set of rules that determine a user's level of access to a file or folder. Term, shared resources. Definition, resources such as data files and devices that can be used by multiple users in a cloud environment. Term, shell. Definition, a Mac OS or Linux command line environment. Term, shielded twisted pair. Definition, Ethernet cable with added shielding to protect against electromagnetic interference. Term, shoulder surfing. Definition, attempting to view physical documents on a user's desk or electronic documents displayed on a monitor by looking over the user's shoulder. Term, shut down. Definition, a Windows command that shuts down a computer. Term, single channel. Definition, a single RAM slot on an earlier motherboard. Term, single sign-on, SSO. Definition, the use of a single password to authenticate multiple apps in an organization that require authentication. Term, small computer system interface, SCSI. Definition, a flexible interface that can be used for hard drives and optical drives, scanners, and other devices. Narrow SCSI interfaces enable the daisy chaining of 7 devices to a single port. Wide SCSI enables the daisy chaining of up to 15 devices to a single port. Term, small outline dual inline memory module, SODIMM. Definition, a compact version of the standard DIMM module, available in various pinouts for use in notebook and laptop computers and laser printers. Term, smart card. Definition, a credit card size card that contains stored information and might also contain a simple microprocessor or an RFID chip. Term, SMB. Definition, server message block, a protocol that provides access to shared items such as files and printers. SMB uses ports 137 to 139 for SMB traffic using NetBIOS over TCP, NetBT, and port 445 for SMB hosted on TCP. Term, SMTP. Definition, simple mail transfer protocol, a protocol that is used to send email from a client system to an email server, which also uses SMTP to relay the message to the receiving email server. SMTP uses port 25. Term, SNMP. Definition, simple network management protocol, a protocol that is used as the standard for managing and monitoring devices on a network. SNMP uses ports 161 and 162. Term, social engineering. Definition, a type of attack in which hackers trick users into providing passwords or other sensitive information. Term, soft token. Definition, part of a multi-factor authentication process. Soft tokens exist in software and are commonly stored on devices. Term, software firewalls. Definition, a program that examines data packets on a network to determine whether to forward them to their destination or block them. Term, software-defined networking. Definition, a network in which a virtual layer created in software controls the data flow over the physical network devices. Term, solid-state drive, SSD. Definition, a hard drive that uses flash memory instead of magnetic storage platters. Term, spam gateways. Definition, email filters that can detect almost all spam coming into a system, which increases email efficiency and network security as well. Term, splash screens. Definition, display of logos or policies that welcome a user at startup or login. These might come with a checkbox requiring the acknowledgement of rules before the user can access the company resources. Term, spoofing. A general term for malware attacks that purport to come from a trustworthy source. Phishing, spear phishing, and rogue antivirus programs are 3 examples of spoofing. Term, Spotlight. Definition, a Mac OS search tool. Term, spyware. Definition, software that spies on system activities and transmits the details of web searches or other activities to remote computers. Term, SSH. Definition: secure shell, a protocol that allows data to be exchanged between computers on a secured channel. It is a more secure replacement for FTP and Telnet. SSH uses port 22. Term: Storage Area Network, or SAN. Definition: a special network made of computers storing vast amounts of information in blocks of data. The SAN storage servers reside in data centers both near and far. To the user, however, it can appear to be attached to the local computer. Term: straight tip, ST. Definition: a round connector type used in fiber optic devices and cables. Term: structured query language, SQL, injection. Definition: malicious code inserted into strings that are later passed to a database server. Term: subnet mask. Definition: an IPv4 network addressing feature used to specify how much of an IP address is the host address and what part is the extended network address. Term: subscriber connector, SC. Definition: a square connector type used in fiber optic devices and cables. Term: sudo. Definition: a Linux command used to run a command as another user. Term: supervisory control and data acquisition, SCADA system. Definition: a system designed to provide centralized control for managing industrial equipment, such as in manufacturing or water and waste treatment plants. Term: switch. Definition: a network device that sets a direct path for data to run from one system to another. It can be combined with a router or a wireless access point. A switch is faster than a hub because it supports the full bandwidth of the network at each port, instead of subdividing the bandwidth among active ports, as a hub does. Term: synthetic backup. Definition: these backups are similar to full backups, except they are actually reconstructed in software from a full backup in the past and modified with the incremental backups that have occurred since the full backup. The benefit is reduced storage needs for backup data. Term: syslog server. Definition: a server that tracks events, such as user logins and crashes, that happen on devices on a network. Term: system configuration, msconfig.exe. Definition: the msconfig utility in Windows, which configures startup, boot settings, services, and startup apps, and also provides access to tools. Term: system information, msinfo322.exe. Definition: the Microsoft System Information Utility, which displays information about Windows, the computer, peripherals, and installed applications. Term: system restore. Definition: a Windows feature that enables a system to be returned to a previous condition using restore points. Term: T568A. Definition: a TP wiring standard that uses the following wires from pins 1 to 8: green stripe, green; orange stripe, blue; blue stripe, orange; brown stripe, brown. Term: T568B. Definition: a TP wiring standard that uses the following wires from pins 1 to 8: orange stripe, orange; green stripe, blue; blue stripe, green; brown stripe, brown. Term: tailgating. Definition: a process in which an unauthorized person attempts to accompany an authorized person into a secure area by following closely and grabbing the door before it shuts. Term: task manager. Definition: a utility that provides a useful real-time look into the inner workings of Windows and the programs that are running. Term: task scheduler, taskshed.msc. Definition: a Windows utility used to run a task on a specified schedule. Term: Telnet. Definition: a protocol that enables a user to make a text-based connection to a remote computer or networking device, and then use it as if he or she were a regular user sitting in front of it, instead of simply downloading pages and files as the user would with an HTTP: or FTP: connection. Telnet uses port 23. Term: Temporal Key Integrity Protocol, TKIP. Definition: an encryption protocol for wireless LANs. TKIP replaced WEP, which had security vulnerabilities. Term, terminal. Definition, a command line environment available in macOS, Linux, and Windows for managing computer settings and files. Term, terminal access controller access control system plus. Definition, an authentication protocol that allows a remote access server to verify a user by communicating with an authentication server. Term, test development. Definition, the process of testing software in various ways to see how the code runs and operates. Term, tethering. Definition, the sharing of a cellular data connection from a smartphone to a laptop, tablet, or other device. Term, thermal paste/pads. Definition, adhesive used to reapply a heatsink, typically applied with a syringe. Term, thermal printer. Definition, a printer that uses heat transfer to create text and graphics on the paper. Term, third extended file system, EX3. Definition, Linux feature that journals changes to minimize damage in case of a system failure. Term, Thunderbolt. Definition, a high-speed interface capable of supporting hard disk drives, SSDs, HDTVs up to 4K resolution, and other types of I/O devices. Term, ticketing systems. Definition, a system that enables technical processes to run smoothly and helps the clients, whether customers or coworkers, feel that their needs were addressed and their problems were resolved in a professional manner. Thank you for watching. Learn more with UCertify.